Hey guys, it's Cerulean Jake bringing to you another episode of Fire Emblem Engage. In the last episode, we did the Ike Paralog, and in this episode, well, I got some splaining to do. It's actually been quite some time, and that's mainly because I thought I already had some of this stuff recorded. So, I really ought to explain what's going on. See what we got, though. I'll get to explaining when I have a free moment. Let's see here. Oh, I did leave a little bit of a shiny. Once we figure out what's going on in the well over there, I'll go ahead and explain what's going on. I do want to go ahead and grab that, though. I'll grab those later. For now. Got our 5-star pull. Let's see. Alright, not bad. Brave Bow, always good, but I don't think we need another one. Silver Great Axe. Well, it's there. Expert Book is probably what we're most excited about. That's pretty awesome. Now, let's see what all we can transform. We can go ahead, that Brave Bow. I don't think we have anybody else who's really going to make good use of that. So let's go ahead and get it out of here. Got 2 Silver Great Axes. Let's boot one of them. I don't want to use both if I can hang on to it. Steel Blade, that doesn't do it. Iron Great Axe. And then how much more do I need? Can I do a fire? No. Can I do... There we go. That'll do it. Down the well. Get another 5-star pull. Not bad. So anyway, like I said, I got some explaining to do, and that is because, well, I've already recorded this once, and it was a long time ago. See, what ended up happening is I had mentioned that one of the biggest things that can stop me from recording a bunch of stuff is if I get discouraged by something. And, well, that happened. Not only did I get really busy with a bunch of other stuff, but I also came to the realization that some decisions I made in this Let's Play were less than optimal. So I got a little discouraged and decided to stop. Well, I got some courage up and decided, you know what? I want to get this Let's Play back into gear. That looks good. I want to get this Let's Play back into gear, and I want to go ahead and give it a shot. Try to get this Let's Play done. I said for sure that I am going to Let's Play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in this year of 2026. That's never going to happen if I don't sit down and finish this. So, with that in mind, I need to get over whatever I was struggling with and start recording. Well, we're going to see some immediate changes because part of the decision that I made, I have been really frustrated with a certain build that I've been going with. Also, really nice. Good job, Alcarist. The level up could have been better, but oh well. Managed to actually beat the main character thanks to his abysmal weapon selection. Wormslayer is actually a good weapon, but it's very situational. Anyway, like I was saying, one of the builds that I had decided on is actually, in my opinion, just not as good as I was hoping. And it's one of the units that I was wanting to showcase of, like, how a lot of people say this unit is kind of bad, and I think he's pretty good, and I want him to do well. Well, that doesn't help when I strap him with a bad build. So we made some changes. Diamant. has been struggling as of late, and his stats aren't bad. He's doing like decently well, but he's just not what you would want him to be, and I don't think that Ike fixes that. One of the reasons I chose to go with Ike as his selected emblem is because I had always viewed Diamant as someone who kind of can go like whatever direction you want him to, so long as it's not related to magic. And I decided I wanted to go the bulky route. And that certainly can work. I've done a playthrough where Diamant was paired with Ike, and he was definitely decent. I just don't think it's actually his best possible build. I don't think it's amazing. One of the things that I hone in on a little too much when I'm trying to use Diamant is fair fight. It really frustrates me that it grants the foe 15 hit, when Diamant has such a good speed stat that he actually can dodge, like, just fine. It's part of the reason I chose to go with sword power. It's because the avoid's not a big deal if I'm losing avoid essentially anyway. Well, I've since changed my tune on that, and I don't think that Legu's friend is all that great for Diamant. I think that he can occasionally dodge some hits, and we shouldn't just immediately set it to 0. Does that mean that sword power is now like not super optimal for him? Sure, yeah, it's not great, but I think it's okay that we can go ahead and keep sword power, but we can go ahead and change his emblem of choice. I don't think I'm going to be going with Ike anymore. I've actually tested another pairing with him on a different playthrough just to make sure that it's good. And I did enjoy it. I did not get through the whole playthrough. I just paired them for a little while, got him through like levels 1 through 8 or so of his promoted class, and I think it's solid. So that is why, from this point forward, Diamant is going to be paired with Lucina.
Lucina,
let's go.
There is one key aspect about Lucina that I am not a huge fan of. Dual Strike. This is great when you are putting Lucina on a unit that does not already have the backup effect. However, it does get made up for that All for One is now range 3 instead of 2. I've done a little bit of testing with this All for One, and I have found that Lucina pairs extremely well with Lyn, because every single double that you can call forth with call doubles will count when it comes to using All for One. So, if I have Alchrist next to Diamant using Lyn's call doubles, Alchrist himself can act as 5 backup attacks for Diamant. And that's just Alchrist, because we can still pair a whole bunch of other people with him. I think I've explained enough. I think I've made my case. This is the pairing that I'm going to be going with moving forward. Now, that said, have I changed my opinion on whether or not Ike is a good emblem? No, Ike is still a great emblem, and I do recommend that you find good pairings for him. Unfortunately, I did not in this playthrough, but that does not change my mind. We clear on that? Good. So anyway, what does that mean for Jean? Well, I mean, Jean can work well with pretty much anything. I could just go ahead and throw Ike on him, and I might do that. I'm a little unfamiliar with all the other emblem rings that I have. I guess I have these. I mean, that probably works fine, and it doesn't have any downsides. So that's probably what we'll do. We'll just give Jean the Alphonse ring. There's one last thing I want to go ahead and do with Ike while I'm here. And that is Panette. The main reason I wanted to level up Ike was not so Diamant could further his bond with Ike. It was actually because Panette has something that she wants to do. We're going to go ahead and emblem train Panette with Ike.
I am Panette, royal soldier of Solm.
I'm Ike, You've got no need to hold back. It's nothing.
It is occurring to me that
I'm so sorry. Are you injured?
I could technically switch these two.
Greetings and salutations, Ike. I say, you look quite splendid this very day.
You have a unique way of talking. I wonder where you picked that up from.
So, the reason I'm putting these two together is because Ike has something that he wants, or excuse me, Panette has something that she wants from Ike. Excuse me. But it's now occurring to me that realistically speaking, I might be able to just make Ike the permanent ring, and I could have put Roy back on Diamant once we get him. I mean, that was an option, I guess. I'm gonna take a moment to consider that. Okay, I have made my decision. I believe I'm going to keep things the way they are. Not only because I do think that this plan I came up with Lucina is a pretty good one, and I do want to use it, but that's not the only reason. It's also because Panette...
Is not for the weak of
part of the reason I'm wanting to use Panette with Roy is to make good use out of Holdout. And Holdout just kind of loses a little bit of its use if it's paired with a unit that is entirely meant to be bulky.
I hear you were in the service of a royal family. I imagine they were quite strict about etiquette.
My friends told me I misstep sometimes, but I never noticed any problems.
But yeah, if you think about it, suppose you're a Pokemon player. I don't know if you are or you aren't, but let's say that you are. What Pokemon do you put the Focus Sash on? That is an item that makes it to where if you're at 100% HP and you would drop to 0, you instead survive on 1 HP. Do you put that on a bulky Pokemon that was probably going to live the hit anyway? Or do you put that on a squishy Pokemon that was going to get one shot? You give it to a squishy Pokemon. Same concept applies here, where you put Holdout on people who could reasonably get one shot instead of trying to make them bulky. So, I think that's part of what I was wanting to do with Panette. And the other thing is that Panette would not make good use out of Ike's engage attack. Because the whole point behind Panette is that I want to lose so much health, and then I want to start popping off with Vantage. Well, I can't realistically do that if I'm using the engage skill and eating hits and I can't retaliate. You know? It's not really helpful. So yeah, we're just going to keep training with Ike and we're going to inherit Wrath.
I am Panette. Brace yourself.
I'm Ike. You've got no need to hold back.
I will say this, though. I do believe that if you were going a slightly different build than I am, this is the typical build that Panette goes, but if you try to shake things up, I do think that you probably could make the idea that I was going for there work. I don't think that Ike is necessarily a bad emblem for Panette. We do need to go and inherit that skill, but I do seem to remember you did not. Yeah, you don't have enough. So let's go ahead and use a couple of these novice books. Use and use. Good stuff. Now we can inherit it. But yeah, the other skill, as a little bit of a spoiler, that we're trying to inherit here on Panette, we want Wrath first, and then eventually, when we have access to it once more, we are going to want Vantage. It's going to be very good for Panette. What am I doing? Manage skills. There we go. Now, there is one last thing I'd like to do before we fast forward with the chores. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to save it for later. I did this in my original episode, but I spent so much time explaining the changes with Diamant and explaining the whole issue of why I'm re-recording things. I think it would be a better idea if we just go ahead and call it here and get straight to our chores and move on with the chapter. We'll go ahead and do that extra special thing some other time. So, I will see you in a bit. Okay. All right, we are back and ready for some action. So, where are we headed today? Well, we could go ahead and do one of these paralogs. But skip. Holy shit, I don't want to watch all that. We could do one of these paralogs, but if I'm just being honest, the one we should realistically do next is Lucina's. And Diamant and Lucina aren't even remotely close to being capped out. So I think I'm going to continue, and I'm going to do what I did in my actual Let's Play, and I'm going to do the next chapter. Let's move on to Chapter 16 at the Azure Coast. Seashore Travels.
With Emblem Corin added to our ranks, each country's rings have been collected.
Right. No more rings in the wild. Between us and Sombron, they've all been taken.
Let's consider the situation. There are 5 emblems on our side. Lyn, Lucina, Ike, Byleth, and now Corin.
Meanwhile, the Fell Dragon's got 7 in his grubby claws. Most of them are old allies. Marth, Sigurd, Celica, Micaiah, Leaf, and Roy. As well as another emblem ring his forces stole from Lethos, the Azure Twins.
To gather all 12, we will need to face the enemy directly.
Are you proposing we invade Elusia?
Returning to Elusia already.
Yeah, that's gotta be complicated.
Indeed. But that aside, invading Elusia now would be a mistake. They have a clear advantage. 7 emblems to our 5.
The worst case scenario is that they steal more of our rings. That's what concerns me.
If that happens, we can abandon all hope of defeating the Fell Dragon.
But the longer we wait to attack, the more likely it is they'll attack us.
It's best that we strike first. One never wants to be on the wrong end of an ambush.
But we're not ready to take the offensive. Rockin' a hard place, huh?
Pardon the interruption.
Vander, what is it?
Word from the port of Solm. A number of warships were spotted on the horizon. Judging from the crests on their sails, they appear to be Elusian vessels.
They're attacking the Queendom again?
No. In fact, the fleet sails toward Firene.
My kingdom.
We'd better take a look for ourselves.
Let's head to the Azure Coast. It's near the border, and it's got a clear view of the sea.
this rate, we'll be the first ones in Firene.
It would seem so.
Wonder why Zephia told us to go ahead. Our orders are to kill everyone we see, right? With this kind of head start, think of the body count we can get. We'll be heroes! Seems like Zephia's really taken a shine to us. Don't you think, Mavir?
I do not particularly care. I have my orders, and I will follow them.
See, this is why I can't stand you. You never praise me, and you're no fun at all. I thought Chris was bad. At least he's not the boringest man in the world.
Lady Marnie, Sir Mavir.
You got something to report?
2 soldiers have deserted the fleet.
Perhaps they had reservations about the current strategy.
Whatever. Leave them be. We'll catch up later and beat the daylights out of them.
But they took an emblem ring.
What?
Explain.
As a precaution, we kept each ring on a separate ship in the fleet. These soldiers attacked the guard on watch and stole the ring of the Azure Twins. Warships are already in pursuit.
We will take chase as well. The ring must be returned at any cost. These soldiers, what are their names?
Rosado and Goldmary.
Princess Hortensia's retainers? I thought those two were behaving themselves lately.
No longer, it seems. Do we know where they went?
They were headed to Solm by Wyvern.
All right. Turn this ship around. Take us to the coast of Solm. Ugh. If we were in the lead, those two are in heaps of trouble.
We're in Solm now. I think it's safe to say we lost them.
Perhaps we should pause for a moment then. I'm sure your wyvern needs to rest her wings.
Good idea. Let's take a breather and then start looking for Hortensia. We have to make sure she gets the ring of the Azure Twins.
Indeed.
Aha! There they are!
Let's seize them! Is a few minutes rest really too much to ask?
Let's get out of here, Goldmary. That's an Elusian fleet, all right. And it does look to be headed toward Firene. We have to get there before they do.
That'd be nice, but look. We've got Elusian soldiers on the beach. You wanna attack again, huh? I'll give you a good old-fashioned Solmic welcome.
That's not enough troops for an invasion. It looks more like a search party.
Divine One! There's a wyvern coming this way!
They must have spotted us. Everyone, at the ready!
Hold on! Rosado? Goldmary!
Hortensia!
You're not hurt, are you? I was so worried.
Not as worried as I was! Oh, I'm so happy you two are alive!
Nice to see you and your retainers back together again. The Divine Dragon! Watch out!
Put that away, Rosado! I'm on the Divine Dragon's side now. My sister is too.
Princess Ivy as well?
Psst. If you're being held against your will, blink 3 times.
I swear, it's not like that. I wanted to join them, so I did. I made this choice for Elusia. Question is, as my retainers and my friends, will you join me?
All right. If this is what you want, then it's what I want too.
Whatever banner you're under, I will defend it with all my might.
Good. I knew I could count on you two.
Divine One? Sorry for drawing my weapon on you. Here, this is yours. Is this the Ring of the Azure Twins? We stole it from the ship we were on. Thank you.
Good going.
I hope my dazzling abilities do not blind you.
This is just what we needed. Restore calm. Emblem of the Sacred.
Finally, I am returned to your side. My name is Erica. I raise my sword in hopes that peace will come to this world at last.
I know we can depend on you, Erica. Now, which of you should I give this ring to? You're both to thank for bringing it here.
You ought to give it to Rosado. Rosado flew us here. He was instrumental in our escape.
You were too, Goldmary, but there's no time to argue, is there? Lend me the ring and I promise I'll do my part.
It's settled. Here you are, Rosado.
Finally! This is where those thieves ran off to, right?
By all accounts, yes. Now we sniff them out.
All right. Well, looks like we have 2 new units to be talking about, but we'll handle that in a minute. Instead, I want to talk about something else while we're here. Really quick, I want to address something. So I'm going to go ahead and unequip Yunaka for a second. We'll go ahead and equip Hortensia. Then we can reverse that decision. Okay. I just wanted Hortensia and Seadoll to be up here at the top. I want to talk about these 2 units. So as you'll notice, right now we can deploy 10 units. In the very near future, we'll be deploying 12. So, what's the point? Why am I bringing this up? 12 is going to be the higher cap of units that you will reliably be able to deploy. So in my recommendation, I would say you should be training about 12 units to a team. However, in the very, very, very late chapters, you're actually going to be deploying 14. It's going to be an additional 2. So you kind of run into an issue of, well, I've only trained 12 units because that's all I could ever get out on the field. And you never really made any implication to me that I should be training other ones as, like, rotationals. Well, there's a couple ways you can go about that. You can either use some of the late game units that are obviously meant to be strong and just are right out the gate pretty good. Problem is, those units tend to have some very major flaws that don't make them particularly exceptional compared to everyone else that you've been training. This is my solution. I usually pick out a couple units that are, like, not really necessary to train and are going to be good no matter what. And there's a few of these that Fire Emblem Engage has to offer, but in my opinion, the 2 best ones are Hortensia and Seadoll. Hortensia is an exceptional unit that I've already talked about, and I'm not going to go into too much depth because of it. In my opinion, you need to level her up 5 times, and she will never need to see another experience point ever. Once she gets her promoted skill, she's perfect. Just an amazing unit that does not need experience because she's never going to see combat. That's not the point of her. She's only here to heal and provide some sort of support with various different staves, Fracture being one of them. So she's one of the units that I would recommend, and another one that I would recommend would of course be Seadoll. This unit literally could have 0 in every single stat and still be one of the best units in the game. Period, bar none. Now, similarly to Hortensia, Seadoll can actually learn another skill. However, I don't find that his skill is as necessary to making him an exceptional unit. I think that Seadoll is good just dancing. Just all the time. Just do it. Not a big deal. If he had no skills whatsoever, 0 in every single stat, and 1 HP, this would be still one of the top 5 units in the game. That's just how dancers are in Fire Emblem. So, with all that said, these are good units that we're going to want around. We're going to want to keep remembering them and possibly deploy them every now and again. A couple of the other units that I would recommend you using if let's say you're playing, let's say that you're playing on well, it's not casual, it's classic. Let's say you're playing on classic and then either Hortensia or Seed all die. Well, first off, I recommend you rewind that shit, but if you're playing like an Iron Man, Pandreo serves much of the same purpose in that he is just a healer, and his healing will constantly be good. Another good unit would, of course, be Fram. It's a healer, but it also has she also has Key Adept, so she's able to click that pretty much whenever. She could just realistically stay a very low level and still be helpful. Her healing would really suffer since she's an early game healer and her magic hasn't grown. But, I mean, you can stem that bleeding by giving her really powerful staves, such as Recover. And that's about it, I would say, on the units that we currently have that you would want to use forever. Just wanted to get that out of the way. It was something I explained in my first recording, and I wanted to go ahead and explain it again so I don't forget. Now, I believe that our units are pretty well good to go. There is one thing I want to go ahead and make sure that you have. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that, and we're going to go here and make sure you have a full one. In fact, I might give you an elixir, knowing what you're about to go through. Yeah, I never make too much use of the elixirs, so I'll give it to you. So we have that on her. We go ahead and swap spaces around. I do want you to be up here. Jean, I know you can't engage anymore, but you're still a pretty damn good unit, so I'm going to have you handle down here. We'll also... I mean, Panette's not bad. I do think I want you going in the middle. We could just do it like this. These three here. Then again, we have a bunch of magic units. I ought to separate them out. I think what I'll do, I'll send... I'm gonna send Ivy. I think she's probably our best option to go down there. So those three will go down. And then Yunaka, you go up here. Everyone else can run right up the middle. Yeah, this looks good to me. Let's go ahead and save. And fight. Rosado and Goldmary join the group.
Moments ago, the beach was dry, and now the water is up to my ankles. The tide here seems to rise and fall at a moment's notice. Try to keep me on dry land, will you? I'd hate to be stuck tromping around in the water.
All right, we have 2 new units and an emblem, so we got some bios to do. Starting things out. Not that. That's not the... Okay, hold on. There we go. We finally found the button. I promise I know how to play this game. First up, we have Goldmary. I don't want to spend too much time on these bios since I've been explaining a lot of stuff today, but we do need to go ahead and give these units their flowers. Goldmary is, I would say, a pretty decent unit. I don't hate her. The thing about Rosado and Goldmary is that they both have pretty good strengths, but they are particularly weak in one aspect. With Goldmary, honestly, with both of them, I'd say it's just like they're just a little behind. They really need help catching up. And of course, one of the things that I absolutely despise is that they gave Goldmary a horrible set to start out with. First off, equipping the steel blade from the get is just... Why? Why would you do that? You're destroying her speed stat. Actually, hold on. I guess the steel blade is less heavy than I thought. That's odd. I guess the blade weapons are less heavy than I thought. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is that a base speed of 20 is not bad at this point in the game. 17 strength's not great. It's really not. It could be much higher. But it's not unusable, I would say. It is something that you can work with. And Goldmary, for some reason, as far as heroes go, is actually quite tanky. 40 HP, 20 defense, and a res of 12 is not horrible. And if we go down and take a look at her growth rates, I mean, a base defense growth rate of 55 is very exceptional. I'll just put it that way. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid unit with a actually not bad skill. If the foe is male, it inflicts hit minus 20 on that foe. It lends some credence as to why Goldmary should be put in a class that kind of wants to dodge things. I wouldn't necessarily say that you want to put her in, say, like a thief. I don't really think you need to go that far, but a hero is actually a pretty good class for her. I have some other thoughts on how Goldmary might be useful, and I might share those at a later date. But for now, that's all I want to say. Pretty decent unit, not going to be the best unit you've ever come across. Risotto, on the other hand, I have some very mixed opinions on Risotto. He's got issues. So Risotto not only has worse strength from the get than Goldmary does, but Risotto also runs into the issue of being one of the better classes in the game and not living up to it. We already have a Wyvern Knight in Chloe, and we have had Chloe for a very long time. Risotto does not come close to being as good as Chloe is at this point in the game. And he kind of ends up being just a replacement unit if you end up losing it. If you end up losing Chloe or whatever other flyer you get. Now, I will say this. Risotto does have a very exceptional strength growth rate, so if you do start to invest in him, then perhaps it's just... At this point in the game, if you're going to give us promoted units, I don't want to be investing in them to make them good. I want them to be good already. They don't have to be the best, it's just that Risotto's clearly not. Risotto also has another problem that is very hard to fix in that he's only got 8 build, and he's stuck to using axes and lances, the 2 heavier weapons. If he had access to swords, then maybe that would stem the bleeding, but realistically speaking, you kind of just want a better build. I suppose you could try to fix it by inheriting build plus. It's just one of those things where now we're getting into what ifs and investment, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like Risotto is just clearly beat out by Chloe and pretty much any other unit you might want to promote into a Wyvern Knight by now. If you do invest in Risotto, I think he'll end up being fine. I've never really given this unit the time of day, but maybe if you guys try him out, he'll be all right. I've been told that a lot of people like this unit, so I will give him his congratulations. You're all right. Same thing. If the foe is male, inflicts a void minus. So instead of hit minus, it's a void minus. You're going to be pretty accurate, which is nice to go along with the axes. Now, there is something else that we need to talk about. We need to talk about Emblem Erica. And the key thing that I want to talk about first. Emblem Erica is not the only emblem here. Now, we've seen this be the case already with...
Let's go!
We have Emblem Dimitri currently, but this could be Edelgard or could be Claude. A very similar feature, except not random, is Emblem Erica.
Our side's cuter for sure, but by the looks of it, theirs might be tougher.
Worry not, Rosado. With my power, you can punch through even the hardiest foe's defenses. You may also call upon my twin brother's abilities if you like.
Just as she said, has access to both Erica and Ephraim. So, if we go in here and we click Night and Day, we will switch emblems from Erica to Ephraim. And we'll also see that the effects are altered from Lunar Brace to Solar Brace. I'll explain what that means in just a moment. But I just wanted to show that if you click this, they switch. Very, very important to know. So, let's go ahead and talk about what all this emblem has in store. Emblem Erica is one of those exact units I was talking about that they kind of just forgot to make a bunch of good mage rings. So they were like, oh, let's just make her give magic for some reason. I get that Erica has, she has the wind sword, and I believe there was some sort of lore in her game that she started learning magic or something. It never bears out in the gameplay, so it's a little weird that she gives you magic. Whatever. Not a big deal. Dex and luck are not great. If I were, in my opinion, if I were picking out the 3 stats that I could give an emblem to provide, if this was like a physical emblem, a physical attacking emblem, and I wanted to pick the 3 worst stats, I think the only way it could possibly get worse is if I did res instead of dex. So, not great. We're not doing great here. But Erica is not about her stats. She's about her skills. Erica has some of the most exceptional inheritable skills in the game, in my opinion. To start things out, Lunar Brace, which is, it's not Night and Day, you can't inherit that, but you can inherit Lunar Brace. And this is what it does. The unit initiates combat with a physical attack. It deals extra damage equal to 20% of the foe's defense. It doesn't really work the same as Luna, but in a manner of speaking, it does. Instead of piercing defense, you kind of just use their defense against them. Point is, if you attack someone who's tanky, then you get to use a bit of it against them and you do more damage. So she's good at that sort of thing. But this only works with physical attacks. So again, why does she provide magic? Not really sure. And the other skill that she gives is called Gentility. And what this does is that it will reduce the damage you take by 3. Period. End of story. It's not, oh, it gives you 3 defense. It gives you 3 res. No, it is a... You've heard of true damage. This is true defense. Once all has been calculated, Gentility gets added in, and you just take 3 less, period, end of story. Eventually, it upgrades to 5. That's pretty exceptional, because if you put this on, let's say, an Armor Knight, right? Armor Knights, already, they're never taking any physical damage, but they are taking a lot of magic damage, and there's not really a great way to stem that other than just pumping them full of res. What you could do is you could instead provide Gentility. That way, now, if your Armor Knight is ever hit by an Armor Slayer, where they would actually take physical damage, they are benefiting from that skill rather than having to stack res and not getting a benefit from their skill. Now, that's great and all, but just a moment ago, when we transformed into Ephraim, we saw that it transformed into Solar Brace, not Lunar Brace. What is that all about? Well, Solar Brace, instead of helping you get through defenses, it turns into like a miniature soul. Which, if you don't remember what that is, when you attack, you take some of the damage that you did and restore it to your health. It's basically, it's lifesteal if you've played any sort of game that has that sort of mechanic. You attack, you gain HP. Lifesteal from League of Legends, Giga Drain from Pokemon, you get the shtick. it has a percentage chance of going off. No, that's that is Diamant's successor skill. This one is just always active. That's right. Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty neat. We definitely like our skills just always going off. So, very exceptional skill. Having access to this and being able to switch between them is awesome. And it doesn't stop there, because Gentility, whenever you transform into Ephraim, is instead changed into Bravery. Bravery, instead of taking 5 less damage, you deal 5 more damage. Do I need to explain why that's good? No. Awesome. One of the key things I want to note about these lunar and solar braces, Gentility and Bravery, if you do inherit them on another unit, then it is vital that you make sure you have somebody with Erica as a equipped emblem ring on your team. And maybe not. Maybe I'm overstating that, because if you intend on using Gentility at all times, then it's not that big a deal. Point is, it would behoove you to do so. Because if you're trying to use both aspects of it, whenever your Erica user switches over to Ephraim, whoever has inherited either Lunar Brace or Gentility will have their skills flip over to the Solar Brace or Bravery. Meaning that this emblem user, say we were continuing to use Rosado and Erica, and we had Gentility on Alir, let's say. Meaning Rosado's usage of the emblem ring will affect Alir. That's a really cool ability, in my opinion. I think that's really fun. It's not mandatory, it's just recommended. Now, Sacred Twins, what does this do? Well, the Sacred Twins, I'm just going to brush over this, but when you are engaged, it doesn't really track whether or not you are engaged with Erica or engaged with Ephraim. Instead, it merges everything together, so your lunar brace becomes Eclipse Brace and your Gentility becomes Blue Skies. And what that does is it means that you get all the effects at once. It is an amazing skill, and another reason why you want an Erica user if you are equipping one of these skills. Now, Twin Strike, how does this work? You make an attack, you make a sword attack followed by a lance attack from Ephraim on adjacent foes, and it is effective against Corrupted. I believe the way that this works, and I could be wrong, I think only Ephraim's attack is effective on Corrupted, and I'll show you what I mean.
Tell me what to do.
We're going to go ahead and engage, and we're going to run up here, and we're going to use it to show it how it works. We only deal 5 damage with the rapier, so it could be because the rapier is not very good against this thing, or it could because only Ephraim is getting effective. I don't really know how the math works out, but point is, your results may vary. But this is actually a pretty good move for us, even though we're not using Rosado in the long term. I will spoil that. We are going to get some good damage down, so let's go ahead and just rip it.
I cannot allow
Good damage, and now let's see who can finish it off here. We do have this Rising Water that is going to penalize us quite a lot, so we want to make sure we can find somebody that can just finish this off. Alchrist can. Nice. We get a speed taker, and we can start moving on up. This will take us a little bit to get into because of all this water.
Grace and skill.
Chloe, you have your own little mission that you're gonna run off and do here. Do I want to engage you guys? I guess I could. We'll see how it goes. We're up here. I don't feel like getting doubled, and I know you guys are thieves. Yeah, 20 speed. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna go item. We're gonna go javelin. Oh, and I have Dimitri, so we can shield gambit. Perfect.
Go ahead.
I will send Yunaka up here. And finally,
Off I go.
Jean, you can go ahead and get this started. 11 sword and a silver sword. Not really scared. Let's go ahead and just equip the javelin and move on. Get our ranges. Move you down.
I hear you.
I want Jean taking the aggro.
I'm ready.
For peace.
We do need to go this way. Okay. A little bit of better accuracy than I would have hoped for, but it's fine. He dodged it anyway. Nice little chunk on the thief there. Other one can't reach, but he did get some terrain bonuses, so that's no bueno. Ah, did you just get frozen? What happened to you? Let's check out what's happening. Okay, so that turn did not end up the way that I wanted it to, so instead I'm going to cut all that out. I don't want to be wasting your guys' time here. How do I want to deal with this? I think a great way to deal with this would be we can actually make use of one of our emblems here. We're going to give Jean a Divine Blessing. This is actually not what went wrong. Jean ended up fine, but I don't want to end up changing any of the luck, because there was definitely a little bit of luck involved in Jean surviving all this. So instead, we're just going to give him that, and then we're going to attack. I guess. Oh, well, that's fine because he was a sword unit. We move up here. We do attract the attention of you, but I'm not worried about that. We finish with Balganon. Good stuff. And this should turn out fine, because Jean is the only one they could realistically kill here, and he has, like, approaching 80 health currently. This is what turned out not so hot. I decided to get a little too gutsy with Chloe, and she's not ready to go as far up as she did. How far can you go? You have a radiant bow, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attack here, here. So if I were to move one up, then Chloe will be fine. So we just go ahead and use the Fensileer. And then we're going to back off one and wait. We're going to let Yunaka take the fortress and attack. They have 0 hit rate because we are super thief. That is much safer than what I did. This also turned out pretty fine. So let's go ahead and move up here. We'll stand here, grab the revanche. You can piss off because we're done with you. You wait there. We just move everybody up. Don't really have anyone I need to assign a decoy to. Nope. And there. Everyone else seems to be good, so let's finish this turn up. So do I have anything to talk about? Do I have some topics I would like to discuss? Well, I do have some written down here, but I kind of need to make a choice. Because, man, oh man, there's a lot to talk about. I think I'm going to start out with something that's a little more pertinent to what we've already been talking about. I mentioned that it's been a long time since I last recorded, and that I got a little discouraged because of the screw-ups that I made. Well,
Are you watching, Father?
the truth of the matter
Victory is mine.
is that I did a little bit of research on this whole Let's Play that I'm doing here. And as it turns out, it has actually been over a year since I started this Let's Play. That was also a little discouraging, I'm going to be honest. This is not a year-long Let's Play type of thing. As we are seeing, changing the RNG was going to end up happening, so giving Jean that life crystal was a good idea. Anyway, this is not a year-long Let's Play type of thing, so it was actually a little discouraging that I discovered that. I would have preferred it had I just, you know, I breezed through this Let's Play, I'm able to enjoy it, I'm able to give good information, and I'm able to move on to the next thing. But of course, that's unfortunately just not how I work. El Thunder, you're both El Thunder, okay. That is marked. It's fine though, because El Thunder can't follow up. There. You there. It's a little sad because it kind of is just throwing in my face the fact that I am not good at this. I'm not good at keeping up a good schedule. So I was a little disheartened to hear that this is a year-long Let's Play. You know, if it was like something like Xenoblade, then I'd understand it. And the fact that I plan on Let's Playing that on my channel at some point in the future, that's... I mean, Jesus, dude, am I going to be 40 by the time I finish it? Like, it's a little scary. And, you know, I really just need to focus up and get serious about it. We're going to go with Fallen Star here, because I want to eliminate the threat while also moving forward.
Now you know your limits.
Good stuff. Get a level up. Very good level up. Very nice. We take those. Now, how far can I go? I don't want to get targeted by more than I should, so we'll just go here. The unfortunate reality that this dude standing here is going to affect us as well. I'm just going to attack you, get you out of the picture.
Another kill for me.
I do have a transition from that topic that I do want to go along with, but I want to finish up this turn, though. That's an easy kill. Get another Speed Taker proc. You obviously reach, but you don't. You're one space short. So if we go up this way, that's fine. Go this way. We have 27 res. We unfortunately don't have a thunder spell. You can go here with a thunder spell and you'll be fine. I'm gonna switch you back to your longbow. Just wait here. You wait there, and you wait there. Cool. where I want to transition to and what I was talking about is, you know, I have started to take some things seriously. When it comes to my hobbies, at least. So, as you may well know, I have a multitude of hobbies, most of which I take very casually. I may have mentioned this already, but I have started to take my Pokemon hobby more seriously. In recent times, I have started to take it more seriously than I ever have. So that's been pretty exciting, and I kind of just want to share that with you guys. First off, this guy has been a pain in my ass for a few turns now. So him dying would be great for me. Also, finally, that we're level 5, we're going to finally get Soul on a Dex trigger percent. We get 50% of the damage we dealt back as HP. Very nice. Very helpful. You know, I'm just going to have to explain more of that later because I am not going to be able to split focus right now. I want to explain that the reason that we are trying to be so aggressive with Chloe is because this brigand has AI to run down this village here. That's what I'm trying to save. So I want to go up here. And this is good. Even if we're at disadvantage, we have 100% accuracy and we double.
Now you know your limits.
Good old great weapons. Ah, yes. So good, the game says. So terrible, say I. And you can finish that off. So the top is stabilized. We are doing good on the top half. That could change eventually, because I do know things that will happen. But for now, it is good. This should also be good, because I'm going to run up here. You're going to die.
Is it strange that I'm fighting?
And you won't get healing if you're on the fort, so you being there is not helpful. Instead, we're going to run over here. Take the kill with Balganon.
Unforgivable.
Good stuff. And then you are just going to putter along until you eventually catch up. Do we want to go and attract these guys? Sword heroes? I'd say we can. We'll be fine. Do it with a Leer. You just piss off over there. You take a step. And let's go ahead and pick up some of these. There we go. Get some bond fragments. We don't mind those. So yeah, I've started to take Pokemon a lot more serious than I ever have before. Now, I was already, because I know for a fact I mentioned that I went to a in-person tournament. I went to the Las Vegas Regional. That was a lot of fun. But I was only kind of getting serious about Pokemon back then. I unfortunately am going to date myself, but I did say that this Let's Play has been over a year in the making when it shouldn't have been. Pokemon Champions has released, and I've been playing a lot of it, as well as been getting more coaching than I ever have. I have subscribed to Patreons to watch pre-recorded coaching content. I have hired actual pro players to coach me, which has been quite cool. I just putting that out there. That's been really cool. Yeah, whenever you're dealing with a professional at something, it always feels like it's larger than life, you know? It gives you this impression that these pro players are like, oh, I'll never talk to them. They're so unapproachable and untouchable. And it's like, I mean, they're just guys. And even though I knew that already, I didn't need that confirmed. It always just feels like that anyway. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that's how it's always felt to me. I realize that you're just a guy, but you still feel like you're just so much more. But yeah, I have been getting coaching from Joe UX9. I'm not really going to go over what we've been talking about because I don't want to.
Here until the end.
I mean, he sells his services for a reason. I don't want to just like, oh, and by the way, here's everything I've learned, so you don't need to hire him. If you're getting serious about Pokemon 2 and you're watching a Fire Emblem Let's Play for some reason,
this time victory was mine.
You know, go hire him if you want to know more. Or if you don't want him, I mean, there's plenty of people out there that do this stuff. So, yeah, he's been teaching me a lot of good stuff. We've only had one session, and I already feel like I've learned so much. We're going to put you on the thicket instead of the fort. Overall, I feel with the few the few weeks that I've been spending on this, I already feel like I have grown a lot, and I know that my motivation to do so is going to peter out very, very soon. So I'm just not gonna, how should I say this? I'm not gonna let myself give out. I'm not going to let this be the end of it. I am going to stick to it. I'm going to make sure that, you know, maybe I never become the next big thing. Maybe I don't ever win anything. Maybe this is just something I do for enjoyment. I am not going to let myself half-ass this. This is important to me in that manner of I want to show myself that, you know, I can do something to a professional level and be quite impressive in my own right. That's, I don't know, have you ever felt that before, that, you know, this isn't something all that important, really. In the grand scheme of things, how important is Pokemon of all things? You know, not very, right? But I want to be able to say that I did that, and, you know, I got a lot better. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this, is that, you know, Champions is out and I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm really enjoying myself.
Is it go time?
Yeah, you're going to be able to finish that just fine, and then you can elixir next turn.
And they lived happily ever after.
There we go. We also have access to Fail Not now, just as an engage weapon. Very nice that I no longer need to shorten my engage meter just to use Fail Not. The downside of this, I will say, is that unfortunately now we can't use Fallen Star and immediately go back to having a lance. That is a little bit of a downside. We will end up equipped with a bow, but it's fine. So right here, we end up against 2 axe users and a mounted mage. This would be a little bit more threatening if this were a normal mage, but since he is a cavalry unit, he is also affected by my terrain bonuses. So yeah, he's kind of boned. And Yunaka can just take care of all this just fine. All we need to do is make sure that these guys are out of the way and not attracting any attention. This, on the other hand, is a little dicey. We do have a Great Knight here, and I know just who wants to take care of that. But where I want to be is a different story, because I think you want to take care of this. Can you take care of this? You can. Perfect.
Goodbye.
Okay. This should be... Well, let's go and check, actually.
Mistakes.
Can you kill? You can, but you might not hit, is the issue. Let's give it a shot. That is a shame. So now we need to run some calcs. 46 damage. It'll only be once. You live it. So let's see. Because you might not. You have an avoid of 34. The odds are against you, is the issue. Okay, so what's your speed? You have a speed of 9. You deal 31. You can live 31. I think the wise choice here, actually, is to take out the Great Knight. Let the Lance guy live.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, so I do appreciate that we took damage to get us in range of our stuff, but question, can you kill us now? You deal 30 to an axe unit. We live. Even if it was 31, we would live this. So yeah, we are now, our crit rate is 106. And the only way to stop that is by reducing it with their luck. This guy's luck is 5. So I'm really hoping he attacks Panette next turn because I want to see it. I'm pretty sure that means she has 100 crit on this guy. Let's move... I mean, I guess we'll move you here. Bond fragments. Alright, cool. Let's see. Attracting these guys could be a little tricky. I think what we might do is summon a unit and pull them in. Let's go ahead and do that. You know, a little bit of an impromptu topic on something that ultimately doesn't matter. But let me tell you, there is something that has been irritating the shit out of me lately.
Come to my aid, hero.
First off, let's see what we get. Come on, roll the dice. Oh, 4-star? 5-star? Nope, only a 4-star. Alright, but it is a bulky one, so that's actually kind of perfect, actually. It's like exactly what we wanted. Move you down, move Alchrist closer. I do know that these guys are going to populate with enemies here fairly soon, so we want to be careful there. Everything seems to be good. Let's go. Little impromptu topic. I got a new chair, and the reason that this matters is because the chair is just the right size and has a little, like, it's an electric chair, so it has some buttons on the side. The buttons are just the right height that it kept getting stuck underneath my desk when I would turn my chair and try to move away. Well, one of the times that it did that, it broke my desk. Not like in the sense that I can't use it anymore, but it just took like a chip out of it. And that was bothering me. So I put some white duct tape across it. If you don't know, I have a white desk. So it looks good. It's not really noticeable. Except when I have my body turned toward my second monitor and I record using my second monitor, it's where I record, it's where I play video games, and it's where I watch shows. because if I'm turned to the side, I can kick my feet up on another chair. Well, now my arm is scratching against the duct tape, and it irritates the shit out of me. It is such a first world issue that is pissing me off regardless, and man, it's very frustrating when it doesn't need to be. Do I even want to heal Panette? I don't know that I do. I think leaving Panette here might be fine. These guys... Let's bait one of them. It might end up baiting the other one as well, which is fine.
Yes.
Maybe this way. And oop. My game has been doing that recently. There's been some like latency with my controller. So I end up going like 1 or 2 spaces further than I intended. Okay, we'll just take 1 step forward, bait this guy. And elixir. There we go. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, elixirs work differently. Oh my god. I'm so glad that I was only about 30 HP down. Because I was still working under the assumption of old Fire Emblem, where that was just going to be a full heal right there. Oh, shit. Okay, so this time I'm going to attack you. Because you're getting backup attacks, and I didn't think about that.
Drop your guard.
That's a pretty damn good level up, I'd say. As far as these guys go, how do we want to do this? You have 12 res. How well would you take this? Speed, unfortunately. 20 is the highest I could get. I need 21 to double that guy. So Folkvanger is actually doing it, but I end up taking a bunch of damage. I think I'm going to roll the dice on a crit here. There we go.
A proud victory.
Good stuff. Next up, I do want to feed another one of these kills to Alchrist. Go ahead and get that speed going. However, I also want to make some money. It is something that I don't really think about all that often. But you do need to go out of your way to use Anna as much as you can, because you want to get as much bang for your buck as possible.
My turn.
Thanks for the business.
Get a level up. What are we looking at here? 24 magic, not bad at all. No money. What's your luck at? 22? Come on now. It's luck, right? Yeah. Could be a little friendlier. Go down and get this. It also gets her kind of out of the way. You're pretty well out of the way. I do want to prep for all these guys that are incoming. I don't want to attract this beast just yet. I know that. So I think in that case, everything is pretty well covered. The fact that you attacked first is kind of a tragedy for you. Indeed, simple enough. Why did you move off?
That was a cinch.
Wha- I will never understand. Alright, the water rises. It's a little unfortunate. Gonna cut us off from our reinforcements down there. You're doing fine. You just need to kill this guy. Which Fenzilier does perfectly. Very good weapon, these DLC weapons. Definitely feel like Noaton is probably the worst of them, but I mean, still quite good. The main thing about Noaton that makes it good is the fact that it's such a lightweight axe compared to every other axe. It's very nice to have something that lightweight doing that much damage. As far as these guys here, how do we want to handle this? Because this is actually kind of a rough situation. How much damage were you doing? You both deal 6. I can't tell how much you deal. 29. Okay, so all of you are not doing very much. You cannot reach. You only can move 1.
I hear you.
I think if I go here... If I go here and then occupy this space with Jean, never mind, they're able to reach all of this, which is crazy. Well, I mean, the fact he can reach here means he can reach there. What if we go here? And you are fairly bulky. 21 speed to my... Not good. Not good at all. You know what? Problem solved. Does a pretty good bit of damage there. You are dead. Not big surprise.
Now I have you. A good wind.
Good stuff. Now we can handle all this with no issue. As long as we hit here. Then he dies. And we can move up with Jean. There we go. Move you up 1. You get that item, Iron Axe. Nice. Some well fodder. You do not need the Emblem energies. You need them. But I've got an odd feeling that we're about to get... Okay, I can... You don't need it just yet, so I can put you here. And that'll be fine. You're the one who's threatening... I guess you're also getting close. I want you out of the way because I want you to actually reach me. Because I want to fight you. So, you're going to disappear next turn anyway, so just piss off. You come up here. You back up enough. Are you silver? Yeah, silver. Okay. You back up enough that you're not getting hit by the monster, but you are attracting attention.
Here goes.
And then I'll give you some damage. Are we looking good on all fronts? All fronts have been covered. All right. Little bit of damage, but you are in kill range of basically anything now. And they didn't even show. so we're doing good here. We can go ahead and take this. Well, before we take that kill, you're getting too close for comfort, so it is time for you to go down. How much damage can we do with Allchrist? Our best shot is the silver bow. But we're not getting the kill. How would bolting work out? We would deal 14 damage, which I believe is not enough. Yeah, that's not enough. How do we want to deal with this? Because we got a few options. I think the option I want to go with here, we commit to this. If you dodge, all the better. No dodge, that's fine. What I am going to do then is I'm going to come down here and attack.
I'm here. All in a day's work.
I can come down here. I will heal. Okay. You don't have a physique. I thought you did, but you don't. So... well, that's okay. Because we're going to do this instead. I had always intended on using the Goddess Dance.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Because this still works. Get a good bit of experience there. And now, what are you doing? Attack with the damn silver bow. Alright, we guaranteed get the kill. Thanks to Alacrity.
I will protect everyone.
The crit is also helpful.
I need to get stronger until no one can beat me.
Very cool, very fun. And then you now have a move, so you can come on over here and you can do the healing. While you, Saline, go pick up an Emblem energy. And instead of getting a heal, just because I do know that these guys are about to show up any moment, you're just going to get your own heal. We do get a Spirit Dust from knocking out Movir, so that's going to be cool. You give us a Master Seal, also very cool. Move on up. We don't need to be attracting that kind of attention just yet. Let's move here. What do you get? Was it Silence? Yeah, so, I mean, you're a problem for Ivy, but that's it. These two are doing fine. Heal. You're fine trapped on your little island, and I don't care about you either. You can go ahead and visit.
Yeah, I saw those troops on the shore. Be careful, alright? And take this. Might help.
Yeah, that'll help eventually. Not right now, though. We don't need that much healing. Water's gonna go down. Reinforcements, reinforcements. Okay. 2 thieves, and one of them already has coverage, so that's annoying. You know what we might do? Well, okay. Magic is probably just a better answer to this, since we ignore all that. I was thinking about using what I had described already. Since engage attacks have a tendency to ignore accuracy checks. I think unfortunately this one doesn't. I think it's just a normal you engage the enemy type of attack. It is not something like Lodestar Rush where it will hit. This is a little unfortunate.
Understood.
Using ranged? Yeah, okay, well. In that case, doesn't matter who hits you first. And
me?
Yeah, let's go ahead and secure the kill.
My turn.
A good wind.
Move you down. You are doing just fine. We do not care about anything that just spawned here. These guys are more the problem for this middle group. And these guys are a little dangerous as well. Go and move you up into the middle group. What can we do about this? 97 crit! Oh my god. What's your luck? 9? Oh my god. Wow. Alright. Let's see here. So 25. I mean, it'd be a shame that I'm going to get broken here, but I'll live. I want to do this.
I'll beat you to a pulp.
Excellent.
My goodness, how awful.
Fucking excellent. And a great level up to top it off. And we get Merciless. Just everything going perfectly. We will end up attracting your attention, I think. Actually, we might not. If I move Ivy out of range, Jean can't use magic, so he might not go for me. So I think what I want to do... Here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to attract his attention just yet, so I'm going to stand right here. I think Jean will be fine. We're going to move Ivy out of the way. If he does move, then he moves. Whatever. Everything else is looking fine. We just attack here. And we'll go ahead and move you down. Need you to get with everybody else. I'm going to want you to get this and you to get that next turn. But these guys are going to be on their way. So we need to be ready for them. Let's see what happens.
You're dead.
Yunaka's just such a wonderful unit, isn't she? Alright, we knew that was gonna happen, but it's fine. We're doing the fun thing.
Ow.
Yep, 98% crit rate. Goodbye.
Play nice.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
This only gets better when we have Vantage, by the way. Because at this low of HP, Panette unless she goes up against somebody who can tank a crit from her, basically becomes invincible. And because we're not done yet. We are going to have hold out on top of that. And we're eventually going to transition over to using the tomahawk. We're going to put some crit rate on this tomahawk. And that's just going to be the end of that. Like, she's invincible. I guess 3 range could do it. I mean, you're seeing, like, just how much you have to go through in order to make it work. In order to make something work against her, I meant to say. Can you kill this guy? I think Alir's doing fine just going into all this. Taking the damage is not what I wanted. Everything else is fine, though. You go up and get that emblem energy.
Not a worry.
You move down here. Heal. And you stay out of the way. Looking good. You have not moved this turn. There we go. This situation is the same as it was. Turning out to be a bit of a longer chapter, unfortunately. But it is just kind of how this chapter works. You have to take things a little carefully because there is some tough stuff here. We are a little stranded, but that's fine. Because you handle this guy, no issue.
I had to stop you.
You're doing fine. I am going to go ahead and just give you the emblem energy. Even though you were pretty close to being full already. Gonna get you moving close. I don't want to heal away. Here's the unfortunate part. I want to heal you, but I don't want to heal away all of your crit rate. I guess that's enough. You still have a lot of that crit. So, a max of 30. We're currently missing about 20. And this we just need to be not at max. So we just get the 10 anyway. So all that's fine. Yeah, let's just get stuff moving along. We are ready to endgame this map. Just need you.
Fine by me.
Could move the video along by getting a rescue, but don't want to be wasting that. Move you up. Start getting some healing on you. We're pretty much done here. We just need to finish off these last few foes. So let's start talking about how we want to attract some attention. Obviously, not yet. I think, since we have all our engages, I think what we want to do is we just want to attract attention with nobodies. Like either clones or a Veronica summon. That water's about to rise up, so we might wait a couple turns. Go ahead and get our goddess dance up. Yeah, the water's about to rise, so we'll let it rise, then we'll just pass some turns, let it go down, skip. Skip. Nothing's happening. Skip. Now we have all the time. Okay, we're gonna run down here. Go ahead and summon.
Emblem engage.
Let's see, who we got over there? Axe units, fist. That looked like another fist. Okay.
It is time to honor your contract.
Garbage. Alright. Doesn't really matter. We're just trying to attract some attention. You got an armor slayer. I mean, that's kind of what we need in this situation. You're still going to get shit on. But they are going to move forward. And we have risked no one. Now, as far as you go, I don't think that we really need to worry about this. 34 magic damage. 34. I mean, we're taking like less than 15. We would double him. I am happy to just attract him over here. And move down here. Don't want to get silenced, so we're going to stay out of range of that.
Huh? We came here to hunt a couple thieves. What are you punks doing here?
Do you even know who that is, Marnie? That is the Fabricate. Never mind. Never mind.
I should have guessed Hortensia's retainers would seek your forces out.
I guess so. I guess I misread the numbers. Okay, let's see how we're going to handle this. How much crit do we have? 85? That's still pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and take this go.
I'll beat you to a pulp.
Very good.
Raised by wolves?
Now, how much damage are we doing with Jean here? 19 twice. Also 19 twice. In that case, I think we can just go ahead and go with it, and we'll give the kill over to Ivy.
You're done for.
Here we go.
If I may.
Alas. I withdraw for now, but we will meet again.
Okay, see you later. Thanks for the spirit dust. You aren't really a problem for anybody here. This, on the other hand, is much more of a problem. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to Cataclysm right here, and I'm going to hit everybody.
Are you ready to die?
That is always going to be hilarious, hearing little child Anna saying, "Are you ready to die?" Okay, so with that, we have turned off all the chain guards. I believe defeat Marnie and Movir. So for wanting this EXP, we need to go ahead and kill these guys. Mainly want to focus on Marnie, though. Because missing a couple kills is not as big a deal in the grand scheme of things. So you're actually doing good damage. What about you? Are you doing good damage? 11. Not as good. So you'll be the one... You'll be one of the ones taking a free kill here.
I'm still alive? Huh.
Yes. We'll attack with Hell Thunder.
You're nothing.
I am ready for a rest.
Kind of missed like all the important stats, but Still fine. Next. I mean, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send Diamant here and get the free kill.
Remember this.
Because we're going to attack with Chloe next. Ooh, we're going to go down to 1. Oh, never mind. We will do no such thing. Excellent weapon you have there, Marnie. Just top tier. Finally, do a goddess dance.
Let the lesson begin.
And Anna, you got one more shot. Can you get us 500 gold? That's a lot of EXP. $500 gold. Come on.
Beaten by a bunch of weaklings. Fine. We'll call it even. Next time, though, you're dead. Super duper dead.
If you say so. Oh, we got a build! Now that's worth celebrating. Master Seal. 500 gold! Let's go! We did it! Alcus and Lynn, not a surprise. I did proc that alacrity a lot. Or not the alacrity, the speed taker a lot. Oh. I'm gonna go here. I don't know how these recordings are gonna turn out.
The Elusian soldiers have fled. Marnie and Mavi are too. Now we can head to Firene.
Yes, right away. If those ships made landfall, then my people are in danger.
I thought we were gonna have more talking. I put my controller down and everything. Alright, we got some nuts. So, what do I want to say about the next chapter before we get into it? I usually like to keep you guys guessing on what we're going to do. But I'm just going to let you know. I will let you guys know this right now. Next chapter is no joke. So, I want to be as prepared as possible. So we're going to do a little bit of rooting around in the bonus chapters. Which one? A paralog or a divine paralog? You'll find out.
That cool breeze. Lovely, isn't it? Almost a shame we'll arrive in Firene soon.
I'm surprised you came with us, Zephyr. You're so loyal to Papa. I figured there was no way you'd approve of this.
Oh? Well, your father is my master, but lately his orders have been somewhat concerning.
I know exactly what you mean. He thinks nothing of killing people. I have the same blood in my veins, of course. Maybe it's natural people mistrust me.
Oh, Lady Vale, no. I heard about those awful things the Divine Dragon said. That you killed Lumera? Stole the rings? If I were you, I wouldn't believe a word of it. After hearing who your father was, the Divine Dragon probably said that to hurt your feelings.
I've decided I won't harm anyone, ever. Even if it costs me my life. So, I'm not going back to Papa. I don't want to destroy this world.
How kind-hearted of you.
If you two really want to help, then after I've cleared up this misunderstanding, will you help me find my sibling?
What a silly thing to say. You are Lord Sombron's only child. You have no brothers or sisters.
That's not true. We've met. Look at this.
How beautiful. It looks like a dragonstone.
It is a dragonstone. 1,000 years ago,
I was crying, and one of my siblings gave it to me. I remember it well. Even though I can't stay with you, I'll always be your friend. If you're sad or lonely, remember, if this stone is intact, that means I'm still alive. As you can see, in all this time, it hasn't even cracked.
But that means... What does that mean?
It means my brother is still alive, and I'm going to find him. Perhaps with his help, I can convince Papa to end this horrible war. Sophia, is something wrong?
No, I'm just so moved. After we finished our business in Firene, Gris and I will help find your sibling.
Thank you. I've been looking on my own this whole time. You two will be a big help.
Look, Lady Vale, Firene on the horizon. Why don't you take in the view? Maybe reflect on what you'll say to patch things up.
Good idea.
Another one of Lord Sombron's children survived?
First I'm hearing of it.
I don't understand. They all perished in the war 1,000 years ago. All of them except Lady Vale, who was too young to fight. I watched it happen, Gris. Watched as each and every one of them met their end. Unless... No.
What? Remember something?
It's only a hunch. But if I'm right, we may have a problem on our hands.
Good thing we heard this before she fell asleep.
Yes. After all, once we've gotten to Firene and uncovered the truth, she will never awaken again.
Very scary words, but we'll have to think on that later. For now, next time on Fire Emblem Engage, like I said, we're going to be looking at some paralogs. Which ones? You'll find out. I will see you then.